give you a quick review on Terminator Dark Fate. Just came out today. And if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch. I'm going to spoil some stuff for you. Go watch the movie and come back. Well, let's see. This movie's actually a pretty badass movie. I think it's pretty much better than any of the other movies after Terminator Judgment Day. And basically, with Dark Fate, this one actually picks up right after Terminator 2, Judgment Day. And basically, it starts off, with like the young Sarah Connor, and they're, just showing the clips of T2 when she's in the mental hospital. And then it goes back to where she and John Connor, her son, are, out of the hospital, and this is basically takes, a place in events after T2, and they finally, stopped Skynet and everything, and they're at, like, this beach, bar somewhere, I guess, probably in the, Hawaii, I don't know, they really never said, but they're just kind of hanging out, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger, as the Terminator, walks in and actually kills John Connor. He actually, finishes the mission that, originally that they were supposed to do, like in the first one. So they finally killed John Connor, and Sarah Connor, survives. And then the movie picks up 22 years after that happened, because that was like just after T2. And we're in Mexico City, and there's this gal and her brother work at this car manufacturer there in Mexico City, and they're working, they're in the assembly line and everything, and this Terminator comes out and, tries to kill him. And they really, never really said exactly who sent that Terminator to kill him. But it's really cool because this one is like the Terminator skeleton. And it kind of has like the liquid metal, like the T-1000, it was the T-1000 and T2. But with this one, the liquid metal stuff comes apart from the skeleton, and it has like, two different Terminators. And then there's another one, this female Terminator that is sent back to save the to protect them. And then so they finally get him out, and then they're trying to kill her, and then Sarah Connor ends up running into him on the bridge. And so, they got talking, and then throughout the movie come to find out that this female Terminator isn't really fully a machine. She is from the future, and she's actually human that has been cybernetically enhanced, and she has little power cells, like kind of like the Terminator, but she's not really fully a Terminator, and she was designed to have a metabolism of like that goes in bursts, that you can only fight like the Terminator for 2 or 3 minutes, and then she gets pretty much gets her energy depleted and everything. And then kind of find out that after they get with Sarah Connor, she's been getting these text messages with coordinates for the last several years. Every couple of years she gets a encrypted text message that has coordinates, and it'll say for John. And a Terminator appears, and she kills it. and so on and so on for the last several years. And that's how she met up with these two, that she's having to cross paths with them because she got a text message that a Terminator would be there. And sure enough, there was. And then come to find out that from that female Terminator, she was telling really what happened in the future, and it's completely different than Terminator 2. And come to find out, too, that after John Connor was killed, they have a different time, different future, but that's kind of similar. That instead of Cyberdyne, making Skynet, humans end up not making Skynet, they end up making this company called Legion. And that was supposed to be a computer system to help protect us, and it ended up going global and started killing off people. It's kind of similar to Skynet, and they kind of had a theory that it was this gal, her name was Danny, that it was her son that was the leader of the resistance, and then come to find out that she is the leader of the resistance in their future. So this is, like a similar future to Terminator 2, but it's like an alternate one as well. And she was the one that sent back this female Terminator to save her, because she ended up saving her when she was a kid, and then now she's come back to save this gal. And then they end up finally, and she has his coordinates tattooed on her belly here, on her side, and it's the same coordinates that Sarah Connor was getting in the text messages, and they come to find out it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and now he's taking the name Carl, and he is the one that killed John Connor 22 years prior, and since the mission was completed, that he just stayed where he was, and since since Skynet no longer exists in this new timeline, that he had nothing else to do, and he ended up meeting a woman and her son, and they became, like a family, and they moved to Laredo, Texas. And so now they have to keep this gal from Mexico safe, so that she could later do the resistance. And they finally killed off that other Terminator that was trying to kill her. But the thing is that there is a little bit of a plot hole, is that they really never did say or explain, who sent him and why, but you kind of figure it out anyway. And this movie really does have a lot of action to it, and it's really, a fun movie, and pretty much from the beginning there's a lot of action from the beginning to the end. And then at the end of the movie, they finally killed the Terminator that was sent to kill her. The female one had the gal take out the her little battery thing, her power cell, and stabbed it in the other guy's eye. And him, because they're at a dam, and they fell into this hole, and the Arnold Schwarzenegger's T-800, I think it is, he ended up getting killed at the end too. So now he's gone, and they finally defeated that evil Terminator. And then now the gal Danny that was the later resistant, her, at the end of the movie, it shows her watching these kids play on the playground, and it ends up being the gal that saved her in the future. As the little girl that Danny saves in the future that was sent back to save her. And so basically, she sees that little girl, and Sarah Connor's there, and now she says that now she's gonna, make sure she doesn't die in the future again for her. And Sarah Connor says, well, it's about time you're ready. So I guess she's gonna go train her now before everything, I guess goes to hell. So it kind of almost maybe sets up for a fourth one, maybe. But then again, they could have just sent it off, just ended all the Terminators there. I don't know if they're going to do like what they did after T2 and have like 3 or 4 other ones that kind of, do it. Kind of center on John Connor and, kind of reboot it. But now that John Connor is officially dead, I don't know how they could do it. They could just continue it from this gal on. So it'd be kind of interesting. Well, that's my, kind of little review and rundown of the movie. I enjoyed it. It is, a rated R movie. So, kind of may not want to take kids, but it's a good movie. You should go see it. And that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick review. If you did, smack a like, share it, favorite, and post a comment on it. And go ahead and, while you're at it, hit the subscribe button and hit the little notification bell so you can be notified of when I do upload. And go ahead and check out all my other movie reviews and loot crates and other content that I do have on my channel. Until next time, peace out.